I showed my wife a picture of the great white that caught down Tanner Banks the other day. Oh, wow. She's like, I don't think we're going this year.
There's been one hanging around down there for several years.
They caught a 12-footer down there. I told her she wouldn't have to worry about it, spit her out.
Because of that other one, probably.
Look, I got to do it right.
It ain't hard to get over here.
That's for me, wasn't it?
Yes.
You know I love to talk.
I know. Okay, it's 6:30. We're going to call the meeting to order. Amber, show all of council present, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving on to the approval of the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? All right, now we're going into the public hearing. The City of Covington Council will conduct a public hearing to consider ordinance O-25-02, tax exemption for the widows of fallen first responders. Do we have anybody here to speak for it? Chief, is there anybody signed up back here?
No, nobody signed up.
Okay. Anybody against? Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Citizens' comments, none of that either. Report of the city manager.
Man. Oh, your turn to shine.
Yeah, you're up.
You know what, they're not here because you're signed up twice.
I just slow things down a little bit.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, members of council, thank you all very much. Appreciate your attention to all the wonderful things going in the city, citizens in attendance this evening. Thank you all for participation in local government, and of course our media that's here with us. We appreciate you folks and covering what we do here in Covington, Virginia. A couple of things we'll go over. First, as I want to shout out to Amber's first full week with us. She's done a wonderful job putting our agenda together this evening, adding some detail to things, and I appreciate her due diligence with your business license, your business tags, your cards. So for those that care to have that as your business card, let Amber know, and she's did a very nice job with those. Very, very proud. So I thank her for her open communication with Becky, of course, and our office, and coming in and asking questions. And we've had a good week and good start to her full-time as our clerk. Also, like to shout out, we are very busy right now in all aspects of city government, but a special shout out to our recreation staff, Lisa Worley and C.W. Smith. CW has just been an absolute wonderful hire for us. He brings a fantastic attitude and a lot of energy, and I refer to him as those kids are busy and doing a lot of good things in the community. As I mentioned a couple weeks ago, we had over 30 baseball last weekend before last, over 40 baseball this past weekend, about a dozen plus adult slow pitch, and this weekend we will be entertaining the entire Greenbrier girls softball program, so there'll probably be as many as 50, 60 teams with us Saturday and Sunday. So we look forward to our neighbors from West Virginia coming over and enjoying playing on some nice athletic fields, and the contribution to our community. And as you've heard me say many times before, when our visitors are in, that's $1 we did not have before, and they certainly make a contribution to our food, meals, some shopping, gasoline, and I comment on our West Virginia girls because they've been known to eat all the ice cream at Exxon over on Durant Road. So looking forward to a big weekend. Also this weekend, we have, I believe it is now our 3rd annual Tea Party. That's hosted by Old Town Covington in cooperation somewhat from the city and Good News Church. I understand we had, the other day we had over 80 already registered for the tea party. It's a wonderful event, and we appreciate the volunteers. We appreciate Old Town Covington, members of Good News Church, other volunteers in the community. And if they can wake the rabbit up, he's still a little bit sleepy in his hole, but if they can get him up, there'll probably be a large rabbit to come visit and have a good time with grandmas, mamas, and daughters and granddaughters. So again, an exciting thing in Covington, Virginia. We look forward to that. And then the following weekend is our annual Easter parade. That will be at 10 o'clock this year. Another reminder next Tuesday, but we also have our youth opening day with our T-ball, our boys baseball, and our girls fast pitch. Over 800 kids playing in the Allegheny Highlands this spring. We have done our very, very best to accommodate with 16 fields in Covington, Virginia. So again, we look forward to our youngsters getting out and playing some ball and learning how to pitch, hit, and throw. So some exciting times in front of all of us with our kids in spring sports, and it's hard to believe in another month we'll be filling the pool will be filled up. We started some cosmetic work to the pool this week with Nashville coming up. It's getting to have a few years on it, and in the name of this guy and his staff, we try to stay on top of things, so it was time to do a drain and do a little quick repair here and there, so that our pool today will last 70 years. Is the one built by the CC Corps back in the 1920s, 1930s. So also I want to call to your attention a couple other things that we're busy with. BB and I have met with Allegheny County and Bath County in regards to all of us working locally together at the transfer station. It has been a very good conversation. Mr. Popovich has worked on the agreement for the localities together. We're very comfortable with the agreement and the cost to use the transfer station. BB and I received a notification today from our value engineering firm, and it is their recommendation that we accept our last waste at Peters Mountain Landfill on August 1st, 2025. So we're ahead of the game in some instances, having already worked with Bath and Allegheny on the transfer station. A little disappointed in our value engineering firm. We've been battling with this for some time, and the time is upon us. So once we're closed down, we'll have to go through, of course, closure. There'll be more on that to come, and then we'll need to manage the mountain for 30 years after the fact. So this part of doing business, the things that we will be discussing and getting into during the course of our budget, it's no one's fault. It's the cost of doing business, and decisions that were made many, many, many years ago are now upon us to rectify as we move forward. So there'll be some tough decisions coming up from those of us that will be preparing budgets to those of us that will be approving them and having open discussion along the way. But one of the things, as I mentioned, we're working on is our utility rate study. Can't kill the messenger, but we've been told that's what we have to do. So we follow what the Virginia Department of Health and Office of Drinking Water tells us. BB's done a wonderful job putting the scope of that together. We had a couple inquire with interest in working with the city. We did our due diligent research, and we have a company out in North Carolina that comes with very high accolades. So we've had open conversation with them, and we are hopeful of beginning to get some solid information on a rate study for our water, for our wastewater, and for our our refuge collection. Those things will need to be addressed. It's the cost of business today, and as we mentioned in last year's budget, just our water treatment plant alone, it's $200,000 just for electricity. So the cost of chemicals goes up each and every year. The cost to repair pumps, and I will say that you have staff today that is more about tomorrow than yesterday. We're proactive people in what we do versus reactive, and that will save our taxpayers nickels and dimes down the road with our investment in what we're doing today. So I appreciate you working along with us and believing in where we're heading and what we need to do. I want to shout out to Josh Taylor in the Chamber of Commerce. He had over 30 folks with him visiting from all over the state, visiting the Allegheny Highlands lately on a Virginia tourism tour. We met at the Jackson River Sport Complex and had a wonderful conversation with a lot of folks. And I got word back after everyone departed that that was their best stop. So pretty excited about their stop in Covington, Virginia, and much appreciation to Lisa and the recreation staff for everything top notch over there. Our Mid-City Mall parking lot, that's a project that we've been planning and working towards over the past year and a half. We certainly secured our paving for the lot. We've invested money into our sidewalk system over here now. Proactive, we decided through our public works staff and city hall folks here that we get in and as we're tearing up sidewalk, we replace our infrastructure. Proud to say that our sewer is in decrepit condition, so it was a good move to fix that before we put down new concrete. So our staff is working on that while our contractors are working on other things. So we'll get new plastic lines in for our sewer, and we're correcting the drainage. We're separating the drainage from the sewer. That's just the way things were built back years ago. So we're separating that, and as you guys and gals can imagine, when it rains with those flat roofs over there, there's a whole lot of water that comes off those roofs, and sometimes you can actually take a shower on one building over there, but that too has been corrected. So our folks will be able to come out on a rainy day and not get soaking wet from water coming through somewhat downspout. But again, appreciate all the folks that are working along with that. Paving was scheduled to start this week. We've got some illness in our paving crew, so that is scheduled to start next week. We will be beginning on Royal Avenue next week. It's important that we address some of these main thoroughfares with our traffic back and forth to Casey Field, Food Line, Walmart, Sport Complex. So we'll do Royal, we'll do Craig, we'll do Marion, we'll get our side streets, and then we'll get caught back up on what our planned paving was back last September when we awarded that. We have Pitcher's Ridge, a couple maybe left over in Idlewild, Parker Heights, Asbury, and Bud Street are still on our list, as well as some paving work up at Cedar Hill Cemetery. So anxious to get started with our paving, and also all the local governments, Clifton Forge, Allegheny County, Covington, we met with Smurfett, West Rock. They gave each of us a $2,500 check to the locality to go towards the Humane Society for taking care of pets down there, spaying, neutering, and our staff has already deposited the check and submitted it back to the Humane Society to get moving with things down there. So any questions from you folks as we wrap up?
What time did you say the tea party was?
10 o'clock Saturday morning.
And the Easter parade?
Back up. Tea party 11 o'clock, Easter parade 10 o'clock. And that's 10 o'clock next Saturday for the Easter parade. And generally, the rabbit, when he gets out of the hall, he usually meets the kids over here at Mid-City Mall Park. Then they go down to the parade and have a good time, hooting and hollering, throwing eggs at people.
Have they got any tickets left from the tea party?
I can't speak to that. I can't speak to
They
that.
said, at the meeting yesterday, they said they had, I think they said they had 82 people signed up and they had 100 seats, so they expect to sell some of the door, but they only had a limited amount.
All right. Busy time.
Yes, very.
But
Thank you, Al.
doing very well. Very, very pleased. Thank you.
Bud.
11 to 2.
Oh, okay. Ordinances and resolution. To consider ordinance 02502, tax exemption for widows and first responder.
Agenda.
Yeah. Second. All in favor? To consider resolution R2509, wastewater disposal, Thomas and Littleton final payment for EQ Basin project. I'll move to agenda. Second. All in favor? To consider resolution R2510, donations to the Allegheny Humane Society, that, there's no city match there. I move to agenda. Second. All in favor? To consider resolution 2511, Covington Parks and Rec Youth Day. It's similar to a bike rodeo. I move to agenda. Second. All in favor? To consider resolution R2512, 2025 personal property relief allocation. I move to agenda. Second. All in favor? To consider resolution R2513, opioid abatement authority. That's just a pass through with no city match. I move to agenda. Second. All in favor?
Appointments. We've got an appointment to represent the industrial development authorities. We need one person appointment to the representative to the Allegheny Highlands Economic Development Corporation. And we have two for the Planning Commission, and we're gonna have one for the housing authorities. We need the agenda of those, and we'll decide on next week.
I second. All in favor?
All in favor? Well, we're not gonna have another report of the city manager.
Not tonight, I'll let you go. But again, back on your appointments, just so the citizens understand, and we encourage people to get involved with government. The ads that were put out for Planning Commission, and of course, the Allegheny Highlands Economic and the IDA and things, just get your in-written that you're interested and get it to Amber, to Becky, or in the Planning Commissions to Eric Tyree. And he'll get that in Amber's hands, and we'll get on the agenda and give you folks the information. So, but it's just important that, you know, it won't do no good for Joe to come tell Alan and Alan tell the mayor. Just Joe says, I want to be, and then he'll let the mayor know.
Thank you, Alan.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
All right, we got any new business? Anybody on council?
Mr. Mayor, if I could, I'd like to address City Council.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to give City Council an update. As you know, there had been a $5 million lawsuit filed against the Department of Social Services and the director, Jamie Wilson, by Ms. Ratliff. On March 20th, a jury verdict was entered in favor of the Department of Social Services and dismissed the case. So the matter has been removed from the docket. Obviously, there is the possibility of an appeal, but I just wanted to give you an update on that, on the status of that case.
Thank you.
And a special shout out to my associate, Matt Schmidt, who handled that case. It was his first jury trial, and he did an excellent job.
Good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, sir.
Well, anybody else got anything? And I reckon we're gonna adjourn this thing. I need a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
There you go, I'll be driving by you. Very clean. We don't know it. Oh.
The therapy today.
And you don't need an anniversary. You don't want an anniversary.
I'm out of here.
All right, I thank you for looking that up. I'll pass it along to the secretary. See what happens.
So if I'm going down Jackson Street, just as they get passed.
Be safe, have a good evening.
Thanks, you
Good thing you come got
It's worse on the radio.
Well, 7:15. Huh? Well, your boss would probably give it 50 cents for it. Your boss would probably give it 50 cents for it.
Really bad. It gets really bad. I had to get you guys earlier today. And I kept leaving it for one room to the but I think got my workout today after a while, but not for
Just take care of business. Yeah, I understand that.
Bear with me.
You bad as money.
I seriously don't know.
At the Pittsburgh, we'll get that. What we'll do is we'll coordinate this.
Okay, that's why I wanted to find out. Yeah, just, but I just feel like we have one.
Lights still covering the plant.
He got stopped in front of the church.
I like that.
So I just wanted to see if
And a lot of that curve, process.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering if we could get it up. Okay, yeah, that's perfect, thank you, that was easy.
What I got.
It is a done deal, landfill is going to close.
I thought I better get something that'll do me good. I don't need
The
one.
recommendation from the value.
But what's gonna be funny is when that thing comes,
Is that Peters Mountain landfill stop accepting waste on
I
August
just had to
first.
take it on over to her house and she borrowed it.
That's what the last manager was there.
Make more noise.
How long until you're off from doing
But
this?
it takes a while to get them, I think.
I felt like she was doing everything tonight, so, good job.